Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your year ahead forecast with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share and hit that subscribe button. For all of you that helped me reach the 30,000 milestone, thank you so much. It truly means the world and I'm really honoured to have each and every one of you. If you haven't yet, please don't forget to like, share and hit that subscribe button and help me get up to 50,000, which is my next milestone. And I just want to say, if you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And if you would like to donate to this channel for this video, you can do so on the web link below. Before we start, I would like to bless all of these decks with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what 2019 has in store for you, Sagittarius. Your first card out for the month of January. You'll have to forgive the lighting today. I know it's not great and you can see it on the board. It's just the lighting here in general is bad because of the weather. So January. You get the Judgment card. So this is obviously the first card out, and yes, it represents the month of January and its overriding energy, but because it's the first card out, it also kind of gives you an idea of what you'll be dealing with over and through the course of 2018. Now, the beauty of this card is the Judgment card is actually ruled by Sagittarius. So this puts you in a place of strength and power. 2019 is going to be a good year for you. It's going to be a big year of change, and it's going to be a big year of you finally laying a lot of things to rest. As we saw last year in November, you were very much about the future and looking forward. Jupiter, your own planet, has moved into your own sign. So you've got this new lease on life, this fresh perspective, this fresh outlook, but also this understanding of what your higher goals are and how to assimilate the philosophies that you've understood, or rather that you've gathered over the last 12 years. So Jupiter, so the Judgment card in January is basically saying that there are major changes and major endings happening for you in the month of January. You're all about your future now, and in order to be all about your future, you've got to close down your past, right? Anything or anyone that comes up in January that is from your past, I get this feeling that you're going to want to separate yourself from it. And it's not out of malice or out of spite, it's just out of self-preservation. It's like, I know where I want to be, I know where I want to go, and in order to do that, in order to get there and elevate myself, I'm going to have to step up. I'm going to have to change the way that I do things. The Judgment card always brings a blast from the past, but it also brings a finite end to things in a satisfactory manner, and it always precedes big changes. So let's see what the clarifying card is for January. You get the Four of Wands. Beautiful. So the best way to step forward is for you to truly and abundantly let go of things, to wrap things up, and that's what you're doing in January. The Four of Wands is beautiful. This is about stability. It's about foundation. For a lot of you, it looks like January is the month where you really step into your own power, even more so. And if you think about it, Jupiter will really be, trekking into this long stay that he's going to be doing in your own sign. So January looks like a really powerful month for you. It's going to be a month of closings, a month of endings, but it's going to be a month of big changes. For a lot of you, it looks like you settle into a new home. It's like you're celebrating something, you're celebrating the end of something, and it almost feels to me like if there is something that comes to an end, rather than see it as like a, oh, it's an ending and it's going to be like, yeah, you know what, I can celebrate that. It's something that I need to let go of, and doing that letting go, I will celebrate this this transition, this evolution, this change of self. And that's really exciting. So February, you get the Hierophant card. So you're making something official. It looks to me like some of you are either getting engaged, and if it's not an engagement, then it feels like some of you are signing documents for a home. Whether this is a new lease, whether it's a new place to live. For some of you, this is about finally saying, right, okay, it's time to make that move to, to the next place that I'm going to live in. Because the Hierophant is about the status quo or the structure, but it's also about your personal status. And it feels for me like in February, it's almost like you're putting some roots down. You know, you're laying some kind of foundation, but it's not just the laying of the foundation, it's the actualization of this. You know, it happens for you and shapes up for you, which is, you know, it's lovely. Let's see what the clarifier is. You've got the Page of Swords. So yeah, documents, anything that you're signing your name to with the Page of Swords there, always practical, not practical in nature, it's always physical in nature. So signing on a dotted line, you know, writing a letter, receiving letters, it looks like something becomes more official. But ultimately, for a lot of you, I really feel like this is where you will put your name to a home, or you will put your name to a marriage certificate. You know, this is going to be something that happens on a very real world status, or a very real world level. The only thing that I would caution against in February is get a second opinion. Anything that requires your signature, February is not the month to do it just willy-nilly. You know, seek out a professional. Even if you think to yourself, oh, you know what, I'd rather just do it and not have to spend any money getting a second opinion. It will be worth getting that second opinion, because it looks like one of the details you might overlook. And it's not because you're not smart or because you're not capable. It's more to do with the fact that it will, you know, there'll be a lot of things happening quickly and you'll be eager to complete quickly. So March, let's have a look what shapes up for you in March. The Hermit card. So the Hermit card, you're having a bit of a rest. You're taking your time. You're taking a moment. You're taking a breather. But you're also asking yourself, now that I've eliminated certain things or closed certain things, where am I going from here? You know, what am I doing next? With the Hermit card as well in March, this is basically saying to you, take your time. You know, you've gone over the details to do things right. Now is the time for you to settle in, whether that's settle into your new home, settle into the fact that you're getting married, you know, settling into this new life. It's like, I kind of feel like you make some quite big changes in January. February, you cement those changes, and so March, you're kind of assimilating those changes and saying to yourself, right, okay, what is it that you know, what is it that I want to do next, or rather, how is it, you know, what's the best steps for me to take? And you get the 8 of Wands, which is beautiful. So it looks like you're taking some sort of journey in March. It's almost like, when I say a journey, for a lot of you, this will be about learning. It's like, I see you traveling to go to a course. I see you traveling to gain knowledge. So you're settled in your home environment, but in your professional or your academic world, it's almost like you'll be making journeys to places, or almost like institutions of learning. And the reason I say that is because, aside from communication, the 8 of Wands can represent a mentor or some kind of information exchange. The fact that you've got the Hermit card, this is the quest. This is you going on a quest for knowledge. So you are seeking knowledge. You are seeking somebody or a mentor, or one will make themselves known in your life, and you're like, okay, yeah, you know what, I can learn a lot from this person, and assimilating them and their way of doing things into my life can make things better for me. Ultimately as well, in March, there's going to be a lot of communication. March will be a very, very busy month. Maybe not necessarily out there in the world in terms of you know, going here, there and everywhere, but March will be a very, very busy communicative month. Lots of phone calls, lots of emails, lots of text messages. And I go back to what I said to you in February. Try and keep the spirit of February's detail and fact orientated checks in place, so that going forward, you know, you're always ready, or you've got someone on hand to get a second opinion on. You know, it doesn't always have to be somebody professional, but make sure that you're about your details in February and March. April, you get the Death card. There's a transition, there is a change coming. So April brings you, like, you know, the end of something. So for some of you, this could be the end of studies. For others of you, this is about really stepping into your own power. I feel it's almost like April, you're like, yeah, okay, I feel like I'm arming myself, or I've armed myself with more knowledge, with more understanding. And it's like you take this step forward that allows you to not just release something, but to transform something. April looks like it's going to be an intense month for you, because the Death card rules Scorpio, right? And Scorpio is about intensity, but it's also about your desire. So April, you're really asking yourself, I mean, March, you're asking yourself, what do I do next? April, you're starting to say to yourself, right, well, actually, it's not about what do I do next. It's about what do I desire now? What are my desires now? And the World card. So basically, you are looking to level up. You are looking to master up. You're looking to change your status. But more importantly, you're looking to transition into something new. The World card always draws a line under something, and it's like the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one. This card represents Saturn as well. So it looks like in April, some of you may have a family member, you know, transition. For others of you, this looks like it could possibly be a friend or somebody that you looked up to, you know, because it's the World card represents Saturn, but it also, next to the 8 of Wands there and the Death card, this could be somebody like a mentor, somebody that you really cared about, leaving your life for good. You know, it's interesting because it looks like one mentor is coming in, or somebody that you can work with, but in April the energy is that, you know, it's like a person, an older person or a mentor of some kind, leaving your life. On a personal level, this is about you really wanting to transition from the old you into the new you. So January, you're wrapping things up, you know, possibly, you know, signing a lease or a document in a home in February, you know, or, you know, for some of you getting married, possibly finding some sort of institution for you to learn at. Maybe a lot of you might even be taking correspondence courses, you know, where you're at a distance or learning from home. March and April then, you know, especially April, sees somebody transition. It's like somebody leaves your life, but on a personal level, you're leveling up. It's kind of like, you know, you're all about your future, and you've wrapped a lot of things up at the beginning of the year, but you don't really cement those changes in until April. So May, let's see where you're at. You've got the Emperor card. So May sees you looking to take authority, and it also sees you, you know, committing to something. And when I say committing to something, this is really choosing to walk a path. For some of you, I kind of feel like this new knowledge that you acquire in March, or this new understanding or new outlook, really helps you to cement something in April, but also it sees you deciding to become an authority. And the feeling that I get from this is in May, you're going to be quite, yeah, no, I will just say it, you're going to be quite angry. It's almost like you'll feel angry about there not being the kind of information or the support that you need, that you feel you need. And it's like, right, okay, in response to that, you know, my anger's going to fire me up, and I'm going to create that. So it's almost like, you know, a lot of people say, like, be the person that you needed when you were younger. It's almost like that feeling, what you feel you need, or you know, whatever you feel will facilitate your next step in life, you're not going to find it in the external world. So you're going to be like, no, fuck this then, I will create it. If I don't have what I need, I'm going to make what I need, and I will make sure that it is established so that going forward, nobody else ever has to have my experience. And that's wonderful, because that sees you doing something really positive and beneficial for the world at large. And I mean, really, you're Sagittarius, you know, that's a wonderful pursuit for you guys, and a really amazing use of your energy. So the Ace of Swords, to clarify, so yeah, this really sees you making the decision, and you're being swift about it. It's kind of like May, you're going to be fired up about something, and you're just going to say to yourself, right, okay, you know what, it's not there now, so I'm going to put it in place. And this sees you making it happen, and making it happen really quickly, almost like, you know, finite within the month of May itself. It's not something that you're going to start in May and then will continue on into another month. You will start this in May, and it will be established in May. It's almost like you're not taking no for an answer. This will happen, and I will make damn sure it will happen. With the Ace of Swords as well, and the Emperor, you know, any of you that are in the uniformed or armed services, this looks very much like a promotion. And that promotion, you know, comes very much due to your hard work. And I'm speaking directly to people that work in uniform, so doctors, nurses, army personnel, military, what else, firefighters, all, you know, that, like, across the board. If you wear a uniform in some official capacity for work, it looks very good for you. It looks like there's a promotion there, and it's down to your own personal determination and the commitment that you've put into what it is that you do. For June, You get the Magician card. Beautiful. This is absolutely stunning because it gives you the ability to create, you know, well, not even create, to run with and build on what you've already created, you know. And it feels to me like it's almost like you make the decision to get this thing started and established in May, but it really sees you become an authority, even though that's, you know, the Emperor card. It really sees you become an authority or appear in your chosen field in June, because you get the Magician card, which is about manifesting your destiny, creating the things that you want, but it also sees you communicating to people. And I kind of feel like a lot of people are going to be very interested in your ideas, in what you have to say. A lot of people will be putting a lot of stock in what you say in June, so really use that energy wisely. It's kind of like June, I feel like you're going to be given a platform. You'll be given a platform to really speak about something that really fires you up and really excites you, and by doing so, it's almost like this is your moment. This is your moment to speak. This is your moment to really kind of to hit home your personal message. And then you get the Three of Swords. So this is interesting because it kind of feels like you're going to have to do some work around letting something go, you know, and even if that necessarily means like it might be something that carries on without you. So you put this, you know, you start this thing, you put it out there, you go and speak to people about it, you set it up, it becomes its own entity, and you're like, okay, you know what, that's doing its thing now. Now that I've got what I need from it, now that people have what they need going forward that may well have an experience such as me, that means I can let it go. It's almost like you're removing yourself from the day-to-day of, you know, this project or this idea or this established entity. Let me put it that way. For others of you as well, I'm not sure why I get this feeling, but if you feel like walking away from your studies in June, it's almost like the feeling that I get from it is like you're just going to say, right, well, I've had enough, I'm walking away. June will be a tough month in that respect, but I kind of want to say to you, don't give up. It's not the time for you to walk out on your studies. You're too close to the end. You will have come too far by then. July, you get the Universe card, which is actually the World card in the Rider-Waite. So you've got a second hit of the World card energy. And that basically tells me that in many ways you will be leveling up this year. In many ways you will be becoming a master of what you do, but more importantly, a master of your own life. The month of July sees another beginning. You know, Jupiter will continually be blessing you because he's in your sign. It's your own ruling planet. You know, he's happy there, he's at home, which means you will be feeling more at home in and of yourself in general, you know, and allowing that to filter out. Let's see what the clarifier is. The Two of Cups. Interesting, because it also looks like a relationship ends in June and another one is started in July. You know, it's almost like out of one and into another. And for those of you that are single, or for those of you that are newly single in June, when you meet somebody else or somebody new in July, don't be afraid to open up to that person, because it looks like a very good union. It looks like a very close bond will come out of it. For those of you that are partnered, you know, and have been partnered for a long time, June will possibly see you redressing things or reassessing things. And you and your partner will be having conversations. And a big part of that, I kind of feel, is because you're going to be out in the front. And it's almost like the partner's going to feel like maybe they're being left behind, or, you know, or have you forgotten about me? You don't seem to have any time for me anymore. July will see that rectified. So relationship problems may arise around June in response to the difficult April and May. And then June is kind of like a rocky patch, whereas July, you manage to bring it back together. You find that semblance of peace and harmony again, and you get back to being who you were. Whereas, for, you know, like I said, for those of you that are single, it looks like whoever comes into your life in July, especially on a, you know, on a personal relationship basis, this will be a really good union. It will be one that brings you a lot of happiness, but it will also be one that teaches you a lot, not just about the world, but also about yourself. August. You get the Fool card, new things, new places, new people, especially. And you know what the interesting thing is, I kind of feel like July, at the end of July, you will be gearing up to travel. I almost feel like actually you'll meet this person on your travels. And the reason I say that is because the World card sees you going out. The Fool card then sees new places, new people, new things. It's almost like this new person that comes into your life will challenge you to challenge your own status quo. Get out there, see more of the world, do more, you know, become more. It's almost like this person pushes you, but they push you in the best ways to be the best version of yourself. For those of you that are partnered, even still, it kind of looks like in, you know, April, May and June, you will be doing a lot of the lead-in. Whereas, you know, for July and August, it would be much more beneficial for you to let your partner take the reins. So something to think about. That beautiful August. I mean, as if it couldn't get any better. You have wish fulfillment and surprise abundance. August is a great month for you financially. August really brings you a lot of luck and a lot of success. August is the month to, you know, play the lottery. It's the month to make wise speculative gambles, to put money on, you know, into whatever you think is going to make you money, but it's got to come from a heart space. You know, it's got to come from a feeling. It's not just like a, oh, well, you know, they say that this stock's going to go up by whatever, and, you know, the projection says this. It's not about that. It's about, actually, do you know what? I feel to put my money into that, or go with what you feel, because August will see you really tapped into what your highest goal and your highest potential can be. But in terms of money and finances, August looks like an amazing month, and it also sees you interacting with people that can take whatever ideas you have and expand them beyond what you know. You know, I see them becoming, you know, really, really great. For others of you in August, this is conception month. For, you know, even for those of you that get together with somebody really quickly, August can see you conceive. So if that's not what you want, if it's not an experience that you want to foster, then my advice would be, you know, obviously be careful, because August is a really fertile month. For others of you, you're having a baby in August. You are, you know, like literally giving birth. August is a really, really fertile month. So like I said, if that's not the experience that you want, or it's not particularly a path that you want to follow, just be careful. September, you get the Strength card. So really in your body and in your feelings in September, and you're asking yourself, what are your truest desires now? You know, April sees you getting in touch with them and asking the question, whereas September sees you asking, what is my heart's desire? It's not just about my deep desires and, you know, my wants and my physical needs. You know, this is asking you about what your heart's desire is, and it asks you to tap into a bigger aspect of yourself. It asks you to really delve into you know, what do I want in here? Because you're gonna, you know, I mean, July, August are amazing, beautiful months, you know, full of happiness and abundance and joy and sharing and caring. And then September sees you really trying to look after yourself, you know, really trying to take care of the physical body, understand, you know, what's going on with the heart space. What do I want? What do I feel really passionate about? What do I want to put my heart into now? You know, what do I want to align with? And you know, it's very much, you know, there's definitely something going on with fertility here in August and September. This is beautiful as well, because the September sees you succeed. It sees you have a victory of some sort, and it also sees a breakthrough. September will see you very, very, not that you're not anyway. I mean, actually, one of the signs, aside from Aries, that I really assign bravery to myself would be Sagittarius. You know, very, very brave, very daring. And September's a really brave month for you. It's like you're going after what you want, and you will not be held back for love, nor money, nor toffee. You know, September sees you really kind of out there, ready to make things happen. It's like if you desire it, you will be there at the forefront trying to make it happen. September is another power month for you as well. July, best months for you this year. January, absolutely beautiful, new dwelling, you know, possible engagement, whatever, lovely. July and August, beautiful months. September, power month. I mean, the best two for me really are July and August. They see you, you know, really doing wonderful and amazing things and having the best of experiences. October, you get the Star card, new beginnings. This is what I feel from this. This is about new beginnings, new starts, fresh, not even do-overs, like just first goes. It's like the first go round on the merry-go-round. October's going to be a month where you're really about whatever is new, whatever is different. It's kind of like I've succeeded. You know, September, it's like, yeah, I've realised all the goals that I wanted to achieve in 2019, and I've done it all a lot sooner and a lot earlier than I expected. And it's kind of like, then you get the Star card in October, which is kind of like, okay, what is next? Where do I go from here? It sees you aligning with a group. It sees you kind of trying to take what you're doing for yourself and broaden it out. It's like you want to share it with people. You want to make it bigger than what it is now, bigger than just you, which is, you know, is wonderful. So to clarify, you get the Knight of Swords. So interesting, because you got the Chariot card there as well. October, the last week of September into October, is going to be a very quick transition. And with the Knight of Swords there, it's really important, especially if you align yourself with a group. I would like you to be what's the word, be discerning about whether this group actually speaks, you know, in the same values as you, or if you've just kind of been caught up in the, oh yeah, you know, they're fun, they're vibrant, they're dynamic, they do this, they do that. Is it the speed of things and the movement and the excitement that you're attracted to? Or is it the fact that, you know, they seem to be like minds and souls? I just feel like be a bit more discerning in October, because with the Knight of Swords there and the Star card, it kind of suggests that a group that you're working with, or, you know, that you align yourself with, it might kind of take on a different dynamic, and it might be in the end something that you think, actually, do you know what, that doesn't really work for me. So before you get into it, just be a bit more selective. So November, happy birthday, start of, you know, end of November, start of Sagittarius season. November, you get the Empress, which is beautiful, because the Empress basically sees you building a beautiful foundation, but it also sees you, you know, you're in that space of like, everything needs to be beautiful. Everything around me needs to be about balance, needs to be about harmony, needs to be about nourishing the soul. You're looking for nourishment in November, and anything that doesn't feel like it's offering you that nourishment, it's almost like you're going to be like, yeah, I'm not interested. If it's not giving me that kind of experience of abundance and harmony and diplomacy and wonder and, you know, beautiful surroundings, you're going to be seeking, you know, you will have your rose tinted glasses on in November, but it will be by choice. It won't be that you're blinded by a particular emotion. You will want to see and have everything in your life be harmonious and beautiful. Let's have a look. It was also another abundant time as well in November. Double hit of the Empress. Wow. So you got a double hit of the World, you got a double hit of the Empress. So this tells me that there will be a lot of interaction with different types of people this year. Firstly, it will see a lot of the stuff that you do have far-reaching ripples. It will bring a lot of different people into your life, people that you know, the people that you just can't anticipate knowing at this time. With the double hit of the Empress card then in November, this is a deeply beautiful month. For some of you, again, this will be having, so the months for having children or conceiving are August and November. Those are really powerful months for that energy. So again, if it's not something that you want or a path that you want to pursue, just be conscious of that. I really feel like in November you will be glowing, whether you're pregnant, whether you're a man, whatever, you know, whatever your situation, you'll be glowing from the inside out. It's almost like people look at you and they're like, whoa, okay, you are shining. And one of the amazing things about that is it, you know, because November, especially right up to the end of November, Jupiter will still be in Sagittarius, so he's going to be leaving right around the beginning, I think it's like the 3rd of December, and it's going to leave you with this sort of lasting, wonderful, warm glow where people are just looking at you and they're like, wow, okay, who you were and who, I mean, you've always been awesome. Come on, you're a Sagittarius, right? It's people are going to be like, you've always been awesome, but this person, it's almost like you take on an otherworldly feel. It's almost like you become so much yourself, so much in your own power and in your own understanding of who you are and what you're truly about, that you know, people just look at you and they're like, whoa, you have become this other realm, otherworldly, beautiful person. And it's because your true self, your true soul is shining through. And you will be all about your balance and your harmony. You won't want anything that seems discordant in your life will get the chop in November. December, happy birthday to you as well. You get a second hit. Look at that. The world card, the Wheel of Fortune card, the wheel in the middle, especially in the Rider-Waite Tarot, the wheel actually represents Jupiter. So again, November and December, again, power months for you, and also give you some blessing. As Jupiter leaves your sign, he will give you one final blessing, and it looks like something that you've put a lot of heart and soul into, and something that you've put a lot of love into. It's almost like a labour of love becomes real for you in December. And where everybody else is sort of winding down for the holidays, a couple of signs have had that energy. It's almost like you'll be, you know, gearing up and doing big things, and there you go, you get the Lovers card. So for those of you that are single, this is, and I don't use this word lightly, this is meeting the soulmate. For those of you that are partnered, this is a blessing that reaches both of your lives. It's almost like something that makes both of you so whoa, you know, it brings you so much closer together than you could even anticipate. And it sees you taking a journey together. It sees you traveling together. For those of you that are partnered or married already, this sees you really, you know, traveling somewhere, and it's beautiful. The place that you end up at is absolutely stunning, and it's somewhere that will feed your mind and your soul, as well as you know, as well as your excitement. So it looks like an amazing year for you. Let's have a look at what your key for the year is. So yeah, December's a big travel month as well. Your key for the year is the Lovers. So it's interesting because lots of info came through for, you know, love and partnerships. Basically, the Lovers card is saying, in terms of choice, it really is your choice this year, Sagittarius. It can be as big and as wonderful and as great as you choose to let it be. There are a few challenges in there, as you can see, and it looks like they're March, April and May are your challenges, June possibly, but everything else is really wonderful stuff. And the Lovers is basically saying you can choose to either dwell on the stuff that's going to be challenging for you, or you can choose to really run with it and make it, you know, a truly amazing. The other thing that I've just spotted as well that I absolutely love, Gemini is your direct opposite in the zodiac. You've got the Lovers card there with Jupiter. You've got the Lovers card as your key for the year, which is basically saying open your heart, make wise decisions, but make your decisions based on what you feel as opposed to what you think. It also says be fun, be light, be frivolous, enjoy this year, because it's a year to be enjoyed. It's a year for, you know, whatever your life path, whatever your rising sign or your moon sign or whatever, if you have Sagittarius energy and a lot of it in your lifescape, you are being told to enjoy the year. And ultimately, when you see the two signs come up in a reading in that duality, it means that you're looking to balance out what they mean, and also you're looking to inhabit the best attributes of both of them. So the best attributes of a Sagittarius and the best attributes of a Gemini. You know, look at that sort of dynamic and what they are. They're not opposites in the zodiac to fight, they're opposites to balance each other out. And that's what you're being asked to do. Choose balance, choose harmony, choose love, choose beauty, and ultimately choose the best of everything, because you can really have it this year. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have an amazing year, and I'll see you very soon for more videos. Take care.